And so we have been discussing about the Satipatthana instruction. So, so according to the instruction given by the Buddha, so it says the yogi dwells contemplating body in the body, ardent, clearly comprehending, mindful, overcoming covetousness and grief with regards to the world. Mm. So, so this instruction actually can be divided into three parts. Mm. Mm. So in the first part, the Buddha talks about, so he says the yogi dwells contemplating body in the body. Okay? So this part shows us how to note the object. Okay? Second part, Buddha says ardent, clearly comprehending, mindful. Okay? This shows that so once you know how to note, then this second part tells you when you note each moment, where you note what are the mental states that must be present together with the noting mind. So what are the mental states that you must bring up during the noting in order to note the object? Finally, Buddha says overcoming the covetousness and grief in regards to the world. And this is the third part. Okay? So this third part tells us what is the result. So when you note according to the instruction given, what is the result? Okay? Mm. So the first part, dwell contemplating the body in the body, which shows the yogi how to note the object. So this one we have already covered. Okay? So basically, what it means is that uh, the whenever we note the object, the noting needs to be needs to occur continuously, moment to moment to moment. One noting following immediately, another noting following immediately, another noting, and on it goes without a break, without stopping, without any gaps in between. Okay? This is anupassana. uh, So, and then body in the body. uh, So, this means that whenever we note, the noting needs to be precise, exactly, precisely on the object. Okay? So, it need to be sharp, precise on the object in order to be able to discern mental and physical realities that underlies our sense experience clearly. Okay? Mhm. So today we come to the second part of the instruction. Okay, so in the second part, uh, so Buddha says, uh, whenever we note the object, okay, note it continuously, note it precisely. Every moment when we note, the yogi must have this quality, ardent, uh, clearly comprehending, mindful. Okay? So, so this part, as we said just now, the Buddha is listing out what are the mental states involved in the work of noting. Okay? So whenever we note, every moment when we note, there must be this quality of ardent, energetic effort. Okay? And there must be a quality of clear comprehension. And of course, there must be mindfulness. Okay? So these are the three mental states, mental qualities that must arise with every moment of noting. Okay? Mm. So the first one, the quality of being ardent. Okay? Mm. So in Pali, yes, atapi. Okay? Mm. So atapi means the yogi possesses this very intense burning effort. Okay? Very strong effort, intense burning effort. So this word atapi is related to another word, atapa. Okay? So atapa means the heat of the sun. Okay? Mm. So, so if you have experienced the heat of the sun before, you know it's very, there's, the heat is very intense. It burns, right? So the yogis here get to experience this every day when you walk to and fro from the dining hall. uh, So you can feel during lunchtime when you walk there and when you walk back, and the heat is very intense. It burns into the skin, right? Mm. So, mm, so atapi means the yogi must possess an effort that is similar to this heat of the sun, as intense and burning. Okay. Mm. So this means this is the effort or the energy, the noting energy that is so intense, okay, that is able to burn away all the mental defilements from the mind. Okay? So, so you can look at it as purifying energy. Okay? Yeah? So this is the energy that energizes the noting mind every time, every moment when you note. Okay? There's this purifying energy. Okay? That's very intense. That helps to purify the mind from the mental defilements. Mm. So the work of purification of the mind, and this is what we are doing, okay, in the practice of meditation, especially Satipatthana Vipassana meditation. Yeah? Buddha stated very clearly the purpose of Satipatthana is for the purification of the mind of beings. Okay? So what we are doing here is the work of purification of the mind from the mental defilements. And this work requires ardent effort, very intense effort. Okay? It's like purifying gold. uh, so when you dig out, you go to the gold mine, you dig out the gold, it's not pure. What you get is the gold ore. So this gold ore straight from the earth is not pure. Okay? So you cannot use it to make anything valuable. Okay? So in order to make some, let's say, ornaments or jewelry from this gold, first you need to extract pure gold from that gold ore. So you need to purify the gold. So how do you do that? You need to apply heat, very intense heat. You throw it into the furnace and you apply very, very intense heat yeah, to in order to melt the gold ore. Okay, so it must be intense enough in order to melt the ore. Okay, so once it's melted, then the pure gold got separated from the impurities. Okay, and once you get the pure gold, then you can use it to make something useful, right? Like an ornament and so on. Okay? Mm. 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 So just like when you purify the gold, you need to apply very intense heat to separate pure gold from impurity. So similarly, in our practice, so in order to purify the mind, we need to exert very intense, burning effort, in order to free the mind from the impurities of the mind. Okay? And what are these impurities of the mind? This is uh, avijja, tanha, upadana, okay? Ignorance, the craving, uh, strong attachment, clinging. Right? So these are the forces that actually drives the process of dependent origination. mm. So it keeps it going on and on and on, from one existence to another, from one rebirth to another, again and again. And as long as these forces remain in the mind, these impurities remain in the mind, the mind, the beings will remain trapped uh, in samsara, in the cycle of birth and death. Okay? Mm. So, and this defilements, this avijjatana upadana. Okay? So don't underestimate them. Okay? So they are very deep roots in our mind. Okay? So they have kept us all bound to samsara for such a long time. Uh, so since the beginning of samsara, which according to the Buddha cannot be discerned. Yeah? So the Buddha says he cannot discern a beginning. Yeah? This samsara, this cycle of birth and death. Okay? So essentially what he's saying is it's beginningless. Okay? Uh, So, so for such a long time, all beings have been stuck in samsara, kept stuck in samsara, bound in samsara, in this cycle of birth and death, due to this tree, uh, avijja, tanha, upadana. uh, And so they are very powerful forces in the mind. They are very deep roots. Okay? So we mustn't underestimate them. Okay? And so because they are so powerful, so the effort that we bring into the mind, into the practice to overcome them, must be greater. So that's why the Buddha says atapi, ardent effort, intense, burning effort, because we are working against a very powerful force in the mind. Okay? So, so it's like when you launch a rocket. uh, uh, so, let's say you want to launch a rocket to go to Mars. So nowadays, you're talking about going to Mars. So in order to launch a rocket, basically it means that we have to uh, break free from the gravitational pull of the Earth, right? So to launch it to space, right? So in order to break free, you see, just to launch the rocket, just for the rocket to lift off from the Earth, you have to burn so much fuel. So you have seen the video of rocket launch, how much fuel they burned just for the rocket to lift off from the ground, right? So, and that's not all. Once it's lift off, they must continue to burn and burn and burn. Uh, If you off the fuel, after I lift off, you cut off the fuel, the rocket will just fall back down, right? So they have to keep burning and burning and burning so that it keeps pushing the rock further and further and further away from Earth, mm, until finally is able to escape completely from the gravitational pull of the earth. Okay? Uh, so, so similarly, in our practice, yeah, we are working against these forces of avijja, tanha, upadana. There's ignorance, craving, clinging. uh, These are like gravitational forces of samsara. So it pulls the mind right into samsara so that it cannot escape. Okay? So you want to escape from it. So the energy that you put forth must be greater. uh, and it must be persistently exerted. Just like you burn the fuel of the rocket, you have to burning and burning and burning. Yeah? So so that it keeps pushing the rocket further and further away from the gravitational field of the earth. Okay? So similarly in our practice, you have to keep exerting effort to pull the mind further and further away from the gravitational pull of samsara, from the pull of avijja, tanha, upadana. Yeah? So keep exerting effort until the mind is finally freed from this pull of avijja, tanha, upadana. Where it's free, completely free from the cycle of birth and death. Okay? And then only the effort can be relaxed. Otherwise, you have to keep burning, okay? Keep pushing so that until the mind escape. Okay? So as long as the mind does not escape, you do not let go of the effort. Mm. Mm. Now, in the spirit of anupassana, continuous, relentless noting without any gaps. Right? So, therefore, the energy that you exert in the practice also must be similarly relentless. So, there must be continuous exertion of effort, moment to moment to moment, eh, without a stop, without a break. mm, And every moment when you know, eh, there must be effort. Make effort to note precisely, to direct effort, to direct the noting mind, to apply precisely on the object in that moment. Okay? So there must be effort to feel, to explore, to discern the object moment to moment, more and more, deeper and deeper into the object. Okay? So to discern it more and more clearly. Mm. Mm. So so the effort must be continuously exerted every single moment, without stop. Okay? Mm. So, and this effort also yeah, must be what we call the courageous effort. Okay? Uh, so this is where we talk about virya. uh, So what is virya? Uh, Energy. Okay? According to commentary, virya explained as virasa bhavan. So that means the state or the, you can say the quality of a warrior. Okay? So, so what is the quality of the warrior? Mm, mm, Courage. Okay? So a warrior is one who is courageous, who is not afraid of difficulty. Okay? Mm. So, so a yogi must emulate this quality of the warrior, this courageous effort. So just like the warrior, when he arrived in the battlefield and he looked at the army on the other side with all their terrible weapons. uh, So He doesn't just throw away his weapon and run away. Okay? Uh, he stand his ground. uh, so ready, to make battle. Okay? So ready, when the general give his order, without any hesitation, without any concern for his own life, he will charge into the battlefield, uh, to make war. Right? So similarly, yogis. So when you practice, eh, during your practice, you will face with a lot of obstacle, difficulties, in your practice. eh. And often, these difficulties, this obstacle can be very terrible, eh, very formidable, very difficult to overcome. eh. Um, so, so if you do not have this spirit of the warrior, this courageous effort, uh, you very easily give up. Face a little bit difficulty. I don't want to meditate anymore. I want to go back home. Give up the practice. Uh, So, mm, so yogis must have this quality, uh, courageous effort. So this is actually the spirit of the yogi, uh, a courageous effort. So whenever you face with any difficulty, in your practice, so you don't give up. The more difficult the obstacle, the more effort you put in, face it, uh, to overcome it. Okay? So, so with this courageous effort, uh, you are able to overcome all the obstacles, all the hindrances, that arise in your practice. Overcome laziness, tiredness, sleepiness. uh, Overcome the noting that is not clear. uh, Overcome the aversion that may arise in during the practice. Aversion to heat, aversion to cold, aversion to pain, aversion to noise. So, so you're able to note this and overcome this, and overcome uh, the delight or attachment that may arise. Attachment to or delight in thinking, delight in seeking comfort, seeking the ideal condition for meditation, and being attached to that. So you're able to overcome that, overcome the restlessness, or the wandering mind, that may arise, overcome all the doubt that may arise. Okay? And only if you have this courageous effort, will you be able to overcome all these hindrances. Okay? And not only that, with this courageous effort, also you'll be able to practice continuously, push on and on and on and on, uh, until you're able to overcome completely avijja, tanha, and upadana. Okay? And so without this courageous effort, uh, you give up without a fight. Okay? You give up even before uh, the practice begins. Okay? So all yogis must have this quality, courageous effort. Okay? Mm, mm, So mm, effort is very important, part of the noting mind. Okay, so every moment when you note, this quality of ardent effort must be present. Okay, to exert the mind, so that it works, mm, to take note carefully, take note clearly, precisely, of the object in the moment. Okay? Mm. So, but we also need to know how to make effort. Okay? So, how to direct the effort properly. Okay? So otherwise, you do not know, then you direct the effort. uh, in a wrong way. So, for example, often you find yogis make effort in such a way to force the mind to focus obsessively. So force the mind to focus. So, or sometimes when the object is not clear, they force the object to be clear. Rising, falling not clear, and they breathe harder. Uh, So, mm, so the sitting posture not clear, they stiffen up uh, the backbone. Okay? So, mm, so when you make effort in such a way by forcing the mind or forcing the object to be clear, so this is actually counterproductive. Okay? Because you only end up with stress and tension, okay? Both in the mind and in the body. Okay? So, so when the mind and body is stressed out, is tense, okay? Then the mind will not be clear. Okay? So when it's so stressed up, so much tension in the mind cannot view the object clearly, cannot discern its nature clearly. Okay? So it's counterproductive. Okay? So in order to be able to discern, feel the nature, the object clearly, the mind actually needs to, the noting mind needs to be uh, soft and relaxed. Okay? So that it's able to sink in with the object. Okay? It's just like uh, when you have the water, right? And a piece of sponge. So in the sponge has a lot of very microscopic holes, right? Uh, so, but water is soft. So you pour the water into the sponge. The water, because it's soft, it can go in between all the microscopic holes. Okay? Uh, so, but if you take a piece of ice is hard, and you put it on the sponge, you cannot go through. Uh, So similarly, so during our practice, especially vipassana meditation, objects, the mental physical nature can be very subtle, very fine, very subtle. Okay? So in order to feel such subtle objects, fine objects clearly, uh, so the mind also must be hard and rigid. Okay? Hard and rigid, you cannot go in, you cannot feel clearly. uh. So the noting mind needs to be very soft, relaxed, just like water. So when it's soft and relaxed, and you can sink into the fine and subtle object and feel it clearly, tune into it, feel it clearly. Mm. And so when you note, the mind needs to be very soft and relaxed. Yeah? Mm. And so to start off with, you can, so before you begin the sitting meditation, for example, so you can do the relaxation exercise, okay, to soften the mind, to relax the mind. Mm. Not only the mind, the body also. Okay, so so you relax and first take a few deep breath mindfully and slowly. Okay, breathe in slowly, deeply, with mindfulness. Breathe out with mindfulness. Do this a few times. Help the mind to settle down, become calm and relaxed. Okay, and so once the mind is calm, relaxed, there's a degree of softness in the mind. Okay, and then you sweep the mind, this soft, peaceful, relaxed awareness, sweep it through the body, part by part. Beginning from the head, you sweep it down by part, uh, all the way down to the base. Yeah, as you sweep this soft, peaceful awareness through the body, You begin to relax the body part by part. huh? So whenever you feel any tension in the body, you feel aware with this soft, peaceful awareness. You feel the tension like melts away, dissolve away. Okay? So the body becomes uh, relaxed. The mind also begin to become more and more soft, peaceful, relaxed, and settled down. Okay? Mm. So in this way, you bring the mind to a state of soft, peaceful clarity. Okay? Where the mind is calm, is settled, is relaxed. Okay? Mm. So, so once you bring the mind to this state, so you don't rest there. Okay? So you rest there, you fall asleep. Become too relaxed. So once the mind is soft, peaceful, relaxed, clear, then in that space of soft, peaceful, clear awareness, you exert the awareness. Okay? You exert the mind to become aware of the object, aware of rising, falling. Okay, so you arouse the mind, arouse effort to follow, observe the primary object, observe it carefully, clearly, continuously. Okay, mm. So you need to make effort. uh, So Mm. So noting needs to be energetic enough to be effective uh, in investigating, exploring into the nature of the object. Okay? But the exertion must be done from a space of this soft, peaceful, uh, clear mind. Okay? So not when the mind is hard, rigid, uh, tense. So you from that space you exert the mind becomes tense, stressed out. Okay? And so first you must soften the mind, okay? And bring the mind to a state where it's soft, it's peaceful, it's clear. And then from that place of soft, peaceful, clear awareness, you exert the mind. uh, Exert the mind to feel the object clearly. Right? Mm. Yeah. So it's a balance of mind. Okay? So you must learn to exert the mind in a balanced way. Okay? So so first bring the mind to a condition where it's soft, it's relaxed, it's peaceful. So once it's soft, peaceful, relaxed, it's clear, you exert the mind. Okay? So when you exert the mind, the energy also is soft, it's peaceful, not the hard, rigid energy, but it's soft, peaceful, but very persistent energy. Yeah? Energy that is directed, well, exploring the object, feeling into the object. Okay, not the energy that's hard or rigid that force the mind. Okay, but soft, peaceful energy that tune the awareness into the object, relax into it, feel it clearly, feel it continuously. Okay, mm. So it's balance, balance energy. Okay. Mm. Mm. Okay, stop here today.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namaskara.